It's in Centurion. It's someone's beautiful house. So what we're going to be taking you through today is what heading into spring or heading into summer, and we'll be spending a lot of time outdoors, and we're going to be talking about the lawn. That's the reason why Neil is here today.
Yeah, thank you, Nzi. Yeah, I think as we go into season, normally the first thing is people want to have a green lawn, and you want that green lawn to also last you for the months to come in summer. Obviously, there's it's dry season, it's swim season, so
You must make sure that your lawn looks good.
a man with a dirty swimming pool and a man with a poor lawn doesn't have
A lot of friends.
yeah. So make sure you're the envy of your friends circle.
So not dirty pools and a beautiful green lawn.
Yeah. So we won't ask the cameraman to go to the pool. So we'll focus on lawn.
Just pan quickly to the pool.
We'll focus on the lawn. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess with anything, like, you have to plan and you have to know what you're doing first before you go too far in taking care of your lawn. So what's the best place to start when you look at your lawn? What should you look out for?
Yeah, I think, I mean, if you start, you obviously weeds are an issue, and then there's also different types of lawns that do tend to creep into your existing lawn over time. Okay. So those are normally, and it gives you your lawn doesn't look sexy enough. So it's like have one variety.
One variety, so it looks uniform.
That's it, yeah. So
Okay.
so in this case, you can see the lawn is they didn't have a lot of across this winter. I think it's fairly protected. But if you look at it closely, there are about 3 or 4 different lawn varieties in here.
So some have crept in.
So they crept in over time. So I think it's in spring is a good time to actually start taking care of it, getting rid of
Those invasive
it.
lawns.
Yeah. And also you want it even. I mean, you don't want if you stand with your beer, you don't want to fall into the pool because your lawn is uneven.
So when you talk about uneven, it's like depressions like this and over there.
Typically that's and this, yeah.
Yeah.
And this happens if your lawn has died back or whatever, then it grows back, and then you have these patches like that as well. And you see it over time, it also is washed away from the pavement, from the pavement and that stuff. Yeah. So I think in the end, you really want to make sure that you have an even surface, and then that you have a healthy lawn that is well fed with a proper irrigation system below it. And feeding it actually gives it that resistance against diseases and drought and heat waves and frost, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So it's always good to make sure that you're feeding the lawn well. Yeah.
So first we identify the invasive species, the weeds, and the uneven surfaces. So how do we fix that? Like, let's start with the weeds, for example.
Yes, yeah. So there's a few items, but I think when we do the prepping now, we will make sure that we cut the lawn as low as we can, and that will cut off all the dead grass in between, and then it will probably also get rid of
The invasive
spots like this. Yeah. If it is uneven, then your cutting is a bit more difficult. But then you also get, and this is a product, it's critical for weeds. Nobody likes mixing or reading or doing sums or whatever. So you want a product that's actually easy to use.
To apply.
Yeah. So and typically you'll use this, and you'll use it throughout the growing season as your weeds are growing actively. Okay. So and then in this case, this is for broadleaf weeds, not grass type weeds, so that you have to differentiate. But
So you have to know the type of weed killer that you're getting.
Yeah, majority of your weeds are broadleaf weeds. Yeah. So
Okay.
and that will be, in this case, be all these type of weeds that's there. So those are
Your broadleaf weeds.
So what you'll do is you'll just take this little thingy, open it, and all you do is you will scatter around it. Okay.
So one important question for people with pets: is it safe for pets?
Yeah. Well, so once you've applied it, you will water it in, okay. And so I will now apply. We will prepare our lawn, and then we will water. So once it's watered, it will dissolve. It gets absorbed in the root system of the weed, and it will kill the weed.
Okay.
So, but it won't affect your lawn. So
Or it only goes after the weeds.
yeah,
Only 'cause
it's
of the
been designed to only kill broadleaf weeds. Yeah, yeah.
And more importantly, guys, like with all our products, as say they appear on the screen. All you do is add to cart, and you check out at the end of the show. Don't forget to like, show us some love, and as well comment and below tell us what you need. If you've got any questions, there are people in the background that answer all those questions as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we've got rid of the weeds.
yeah. So what that you do, you keep it through summer. If you see the thing, apply it. Also, have to be careful when you apply it in garden beds. So rather use it on the lawns, use it on paving areas. Be very careful when you do it in the general garden bed because it might affect your plants.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
but
this is
for
specifically for lawn. Getting rid of weeds
Yeah.
in the lawn.
lawns. Yeah, the right weed.
The right weed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that is it's kind of one of the products that you kind of must have long term for a green lawn through summer. Yeah, then your other is your lawn and foliage fertilizer, and there's different brands and things that on the market. Majority of them, it will tell you lawns and foliage, which means your greenery. We're not going to get into the technical stuff, but your first is your nitrogen. Nitrogen helps green growth. The last digit there, it helps you with flowering, hardiness against droughts, diseases, and colds. So, but this is a typical good lawn fertilizer, a 713 type of formulation. If it says lawns and foliage, you know it will be fine for the application on lawns. So this type of it's a chemical fertilizer. So you have to apply it every 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks.
So if you apply it, it goes in. You will have growth on your lawn, but then after that, the nutrients disappear. It leaches into the ground. So you have to, if you want a constant growth, like a human, you eat on a daily basis.
You keep on feeding.
Yeah, anything that grows needs constant replenishment of nutrients. So yeah.
What? Okay, I see we've got this seed here. So this is the type of grass that you have.
This is Kikuyu infested with others. Yeah, so that is. So I'll show you later on when you apply a bit of a trick. So that you use normally if you want to have a patch where you want to fill in.
Okay.
This fertilizer is a certified organic fertilizer. Yeah. So and there's difference. A lot of people say it's organic. So but majority of your fertilizer is organic is a chicken manure based. So it's actually a manure pelletized, whereas this is a balanced fertilizer with all your nutrients and your micronutrients that your plants will, that your lawn will need, all your shrubs.
That's a chemical fertilizer. This is organic.
It's organic, yeah. So your price point is a bit higher, but the big difference is you're wasting 4 to 6 weeks where you use that. This one you use every 4 months.
Every 4 months.
Yeah. So if you really work on rand value, this one will last you your season compared to that one you'll have to replace 2 to 4 months. So yeah, and this one has got much more nutrients and micronutrients in than what your chemical one does.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because with the boron, manganese, and all of those things, a balanced fertilizer always good. So if you have deficiencies on your micronutrients, your
Use
others
like
don't, then that one is
organic.
good. Yeah. So it's always preferable to go for the certified organic organic fertilizer. So yeah.
Once you've applied your fertilizer, you need to do lawn dressing.
Yeah, so lawn dressing is a soil. It's just a type of the soil medium, like compost, it's just really fine. And that is really just to put on the lawn, to take the uneven spots out of it. And then it also gives you that the lawn will grow through it and it gives you that nice lushness. Yeah.
Okay.
So a quick way of getting your lawn green is by applying that and also settling your uneven.
So speaking of uneven places, so once you put it there, it will encourage the grass to grow and to the same level.
Yeah, yeah. So where it's a bit deeper, you have to maybe compact and put a bit more so that you have it, because it does sag. So you want it to have a solid surface for the grass to see as a new base.
Oh, okay, cool. So it encourages growth and you get rid of uneven spots.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, then I think on the market these days are the battery platform.
It's quite big now.
Yeah, it takes the hassle out of load shedding. You don't have cables that you get tangled in, that you cut off, that you have to fix whatever. So this is really it's a very easy to use, and it's really aimed at the city dweller women gardeners, so you don't need a man in your life. So your battery platforms are quite easy to use. Yeah. So there's no maintenance on the motors required. So for your other things you have to send in for maintenance with your batteries. All of those are eliminated.
So this is our Stairwinds lawnmower that you find at Leroy Merlin, right?
Yeah, so it's a Leroy Merlin exclusive. It's This is the brand that Leroy Merlin worldwide uses, and it's developed as a challenger brand against the others. So it's a very good quality at a much better price than what other brands are there for us. So
Okay.
the-
So this
yeah.
is the part where you are now maintaining your lawn or preparing it so that you can put the fertilizer and
Yeah, so we'll
Go through the steps.
so we'll use this now to as part of your preparation process. You want to be
so a lawnmower is basically not only for maintenance but also for preparation.
for the prepping. Yeah. So so when later on I'll show you how to set it low and cut it. Yeah. Okay.
And what do we have here?
It's also Stirwins, also the 40 volts battery platform. Again, no strings attached. And,
No strings attached.
so yeah, so easy to use, and then it's part of the preparation thing is just to cut around the edges and cut low in. But you hear the noise. Yeah. So if you want to be the good neighbor, then you have this machine. It's at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning.
You can actually cut
you
it,
can garden, yeah. Before it's hot, so it's not that that typical noise of a brush cut or of weed eater that you have. So your battery operated up and down,
and less noise.
much less noise. Yeah.
So you mentioned something about the Stairwinds brand, and it's a battery. They're both battery operated. Can I swap the batteries around these appliances?
Yeah. So that's very easy. There, and we plug it into the
Okay.
into the lawnmower there. Snaps in, and then
Snaps in?
Yeah. So then once it works, it also give you the level of the.
I see. So this battery,
It's fully charged, and then it normally lasts you about 30 to 40 minutes. So you can see where you are there, how much work time you have left.
Okay.
On your
So once you select this platform, you can use the batteries interchangeably.
on the Stirwins platform. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can't use it now on a different brand
On a different brand.
or whatever. So let's put this. But yeah. And then there's just your garden basics that you need. So this is the lawn shear. Which what I do like about it, I mean, you always have that little corner where your brush cutter can't get into, and because it's a round thing getting into a corner.
Yes.
So this your shear actually then gets there, and typically here that you'll get where you can actually go in and cut it on the. You can actually twist it like that, and now you can cut it. You just get into the soil there.
So you can actually rotate it and make it comfortable as
Yeah.
you're cutting.
Yeah, as you cut, and then you can keep it so it gets into the corners much easier than what your trimmer and lawnmower is.
And
If you
then you
twist
can
it
twist it around as well.
that way, and then you twist it there. So this is a very easy.
So
That's-
actually the handle is always in a comfortable position, in a natural position.
That's I'm actually left-handed, so it works for me easily both ways. Yeah. So, yeah. So a small little garden shear, lawn shear like this is
quite helpful.
it does help to keep your lawn.
I like that mechanism where you can twist the shears around and you can cut different angles.
Yeah. There's also this. It's a design thing, but you see the blunt cut off my finger, eh? but so the blade is waved, so it helps to group the foliage together, so it doesn't slip out to the end. So see your cheaper brands normally have a straight blade. But, yeah, so but this is what is nicely designed. Yeah. So just a little small bit.
Okay. And for safety, of course, you can lock it and put it away.
Yeah. Cool.
And you've got your typical garden bags.
Yeah,
What
so-
is the difference here?
Okay, so You know, with kids, they count the amount of teeth they have, and you know how old it is. It's not the same with us. But so so obviously you get it in different lengths and whatever. But so it's more about the difference here is steel and rubber.
Steel and rubber.
Yeah, so this one is I mean, it's multi-purpose. So this one is a bit stronger. So we'll do now is actually to remove some of the touch on the thing. Later on in summer, you want something softer that doesn't damage
the
the
grass.
yeah.
Okay.
Then you go for your
Softer
softer bristles. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. And as we said, all these products appear on the screen at your cart, and you can check out.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's time to get into how we prep the lawn.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So there is a step that you can follow, and that is really to aerate your lawn,
Okay.
and that you can do with a fork. Now, I'm not very fond of that. I've had some bad experience. Your irrigation system gets damaged, and then you end up with a bigger problem. So you get a scarifying rake that you can actually pull over, and that aerates it and removes that.
Okay.
But your trusted old fork rake does exactly the
So we
same.
start with the rake.
But you want
So
to do the-
speaking of the irrigation system, don't forget to catch us next week again, where we'll be actually taking you through how you can DIY your own irrigation system. So with the rake, you just run over the grass.
Yeah, so what it do is it obviously it loosens it a bit, and it will now lift up the thatch, and you can actually go deeper if you have to put a bit more muscle in. Then yeah,
I'm not damaging the grass.
no, it's going to self correct it after that.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah,
So you aerate the grass.
yeah, so you remove the thatch, you lift it a bit higher. Then what you do is put the batteries in. So on this lawnmower, you take it to the lowest setting. You see, all lawnmowers have a height setting there. Where you can actually.
So this is lowering the lawnmower.
So that's the highest setting. So normally you want to keep it, when you normally cut, you keep it in the highest setting, but for soil lawn preparation in spring, you take it to the lowest setting that you.
I actually see it going down as you lower it.
Yeah. So now so you can see there's less space under there. So if you going to apply it, so there is a safety mechanism that you put in. Then there is a so again, did you see the noise level? There's
The
much,
noise level is definitely
Yeah,
much
but-
less than the petrol powered lawnmower.
yeah.
Don't forget, guys, products appear on the screen. Add to cart and check out. You might have noticed in front as well, Neil. I like this, the wheel. It doesn't really get stuck in the corners.
No, it doesn't. So and it maneuvers easily. So I don't know if you've noticed, because the lawn is quite uneven, you don't get a uniform cut on your lawn, and it's quite difficult to get cut it very close to the ground. Close to the ground. So in this case, the lawn is already like as close as you can get it, and we've trimmed it. You can just neaten it up with the brush cutter on the side.
So as we say, the batteries are interchangeable on this Stewins platform.
Yeah, so yes.
Bring it in, and then you go.
Yeah, so but always make sure that the protective cover is on. It's ready for a reason that you don't have stuff hitting you. Safety clip there and there. Okay, and then it goes. Or not.
I was just testing it.
So yeah, okay. So yeah, you just again you go so this will be your guide. So your guide is against the thingy, so you make sure you don't thingy. So then so with a brush cut you can actually get closer, but it's more ends and then on this side as well.
Oh wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can actually trim the edges.
Yeah, yeah. So it's good to do your preparation before you apply the soil, because then you got rid of all the dirt and the unwanted.
And it comes with this belt, so you don't have to carry it. The whole weight can be on your shoulders as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So this one is also a brush cutter. So if you have hardier grasses or things, then it's got a blade.
Yeah.
So it's interchangeable between the thing and the
So
blade.
products appear on your screen, add to cart and check out. And remember, these batteries are interchangeable on the Stairwinds platform.
Yeah. Right. So then what we
Okay, so now we've prepped the lawn.
So these bags are sealed in order that so it doesn't get clogged. So you want to get a granule. So your brown stuff will be your fertilizer part. The others will be fillers.
Okay.
And whatever. Okay. So when you yeah, the first one I just showed you is the nice thing about this is you get an even instead of
So
your
what-
hands. If you use a hand, you get a lot of you don't use your fertilizer efficiently because some areas will get a lot of fertilizer, others will get less. Yeah. So this one actually takes it. You don't have that. Anything it gives you enough capacity.
So
here.
it distributes evenly across the grass.
Yeah, and then also according to your needs. So you adjust this thing here.
So it's a fertilizer spreader.
It's a fertilizer spread, yeah. So you adjust it there.
And it determines how much fertilizer goes out of that
Yeah,
opening.
so you'll see that opening there will be nice on its fullest. But if you go there, then it is on its lowest.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you'll just turn and then it will
Distribute.
spread. So I think let's throw it in here.
Is that enough?
Yeah, for this one I think it's fine. So your application ratio there is normally between 50 and 80 grams per square meter. Okay. So what you then do, you'll start.
Oh, I see what you meant when you said it actually spreads it evenly.
Yeah. So obviously you mustn't overdo it. You can if you not stand in one area and keep on talking, then you will again over fertilize. But yeah. So that is kind of the principle of it. So very easy and things. And you'll see if it's you've now seen it's a fairly even thing. Now if you try and do that, you don't get the same with your hand. You'll get there and you'll have
You won't
even
get this,
spots.
yeah, uneven.
So yeah, so it's much better to do it using a tool that is designed for people.
This is quite cool. Okay, I'm standing too long in one place.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this is the tool.
so after you've now scarified your lawn, remove the thatch, cut it.
Yes.
Then you apply your
The
fertilizer.
fertilizer.
So this is the nutrients that you
That your
grass
fertilizer
needs.
gives.
Yeah, that to allow it to grow.
Okay, cool. And then after you've done that,
Then your next step is lawn dressing.
laundry.
Okay. So you normally use one bag on 3 square meters. So 3 square meters is about that space, and that is really if you don't have a lot of uneven patches.
Is this where the rake comes into play?
That will come.
So you also get this product online and in store.
Yeah, so this is on promo at the moment for 3 bags at 100 rand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if we just want to keep it there. So you'll see, and then I want to come to this spot here that is actually
The uneven spot.
even less of this.
Open another bag.
So you see it actually does.
Let's see if I was paying attention. So the spots that are uneven, they get more.
Yeah, so you can see now there's then, because it's like then step on it, so you can actually compact. You can also use topsoil. Topsoil is a bit more dense, but then your grass struggles to go through it. So then you can just go
Add
over
some
again
more.
now. Yeah. Okay. Make sure we can fill the gaps on the side.
So where there's uneven surfaces, I add more.
Yeah. So in this case, I'm just going to go across because you can see you're actually getting quite far with one bag.
So you pack the areas where it's uneven.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't have to. It doesn't have to be thick. It's fine if it looks like that, where the grass comes through. It's where your uneven areas are, where you
Add a little bit more.
add a little bit more.
This is quite easy to do. There's no excuse not to spend time in the garden.
You know, there's actually it's good exercise. So you don't need that gym membership if you have a garden because it's kind of keeps you fit.
A bit of exercise on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, but are you sweating? Not really.
Not really. So the uneven areas add a little bit more. The rest distribute evenly. Okay.
Yeah, so very easy. And after this, you put your irrigation system on. So the thing is, because there's a lot of other
Invasive.
invasive grasses, which I didn't take out by hand, you've noticed. So we can cut it short as possible. But then if you have a lawn that's not 100% healthy, it's the ideal time to actually sow in again. So you just
So
apply this above it,
Okay.
and
So what kind of grass is this? What kind of seeds are these?
so this is kikuyu.
Okay.
It's an African grass. So it's indigenous. It's just a bit more water. People
greedy.
think it's water.
It loves water.
Yeah, but if you treat it right, it actually doesn't.
Okay.
So if you water it less often, your roots of the grass will grow deeper. It will go look for moisture. So, but it's because we water often, your root system is very shallow. So then it tends to wilt easily and tends to burn things. But if you treat your grass to be a hardier grass, then kikuyu there's no issue with it.
So
It
let
also-
it actually grow, don't water it as often, and it will survive.
Yeah, so you keep rather feed it than water it. So you
Rather feed the grass.
you're feeding, and it's cheaper than water. So make sure that you use a good fertilizer often. So by doing this, this will now grow in the soil that you've now put through. So it will help the
It will actually encourage the grass to grow.
yeah. So it's not necessary, but in my case, I want it to be a bit more aggressive this season to cover it.
And remember what Neil said, like don't embarrass yourself with dry lawn. So make sure that you take care of your lawn and you are the envy of your friend's group.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll put on the irrigation and then
We'll see how
let's see how it looks. Yeah. Okay.
Let's go and switch on the irrigation and see how it works. Now this is what we were talking about.
You have to make sure that your sprinklers are clean. And this is typical irrigation maintenance that you have to do every now and again. So that's when your nozzle is fancy. And
So now that you've done your preparation, you've done the lawn dressing, you need to water your
yeah, so now you just let this in, give it 5 or 10 minutes.
5 or 10 minutes
of soaking. The fertilizer will dissolve. The reason why we water is because remember we apply the chemical fertilizer.
Yes.
And the chemical fertilizer can burn, yeah.
Can be. So it needs to sink into the.
Yeah. So it sinks into that dissolves, and then it goes into your.
So it's the same as the weed.
Yeah. So that process will obviously start, and then the weed thing you do whenever it appears.
That here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The thing with weeds, I don't think I've mentioned it. If you don't have a healthy lawn and you have patches, then you normally have weed problems. So
But
again,
for the way healthy lawn, weeds don't usually come.
exactly, yeah. You'll have less of those. So again, rather fertilizers, use fertilizer more often than trying to use poisons and so on. So feeding is
Feeding is a better option than using
yeah.
weed. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So so in this within a week it will be done. So so the little two seeds will start to germinate in between. It will also not sit up in between other thingies, and it will actually send from the land that we have.
Okay, cool. So I see the irrigation system also needs some TLC. But that's,
I'll
what,
invite you for the braai.
but that's what we'll be dealing with next week, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the show. As we said, products appear on your screen. Give us some love, and also don't forget to comment, add the products to your cart, and check out. And we'll join you next week where we actually dive deeper into irrigation. So you don't get intimidated. It can actually be a DIY project doing an irrigation system in your garden. And I'll see you next week with Neil.
Good. Thank you.